Hi all, today we are going to learn the new poem that is PURDAH by Imtiaz Dharkar. Okay, now Imtiaz Dharkar is a Pakistani born British poet, artist, and video filmmaker. She won the Queen's Gold Medal for her English poetry and she was appointed as the Chancellor of Newcastle University from to January 2020. In 2019, she was considered for the position of Poet Laureate following the tenure of Carol Ann Duffy. But she withdrew from her this particular order and stated that she remains focused to the writing. Okay, and she says that she had to weigh the privacy. I need to write the poems against the demands of the public role. Now, Dharkar is seen as one of the Britain's most inspirational contemporary poets, and she was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature in 2011. So, she is a Pakistan born British poet. It means that she was a diasporic writer. In 2016, she received an honorary doctorate from SOAS University of London. Now, going to the main themes of Darkar's poetry, you can see the main themes are home, freedom, journeys, geographical and cultural displacement, or the diasporic thoughts of home and roots and re-roots, okay, and communal politics and the gender politics. Now, coming to the poem, Parda I. One day they said she was old enough to learn some shame. She found it came quite naturally. So she's telling about the time in which she was made to wear the purdah. So according to the Muslim community, a purdah is being worn by a girl in order to protect her chastity and in order to protect the evil eyes. Now, when the society began to ask her or administered her on wearing a purdah, they said, the reason that they said is, she was old enough to learn some shame. She found it came quite naturally. So when she won the purdah, she wore the purdah, she found that the shame had come naturally to her. That means it was all, the body was fully covered, and she found that after she had worn the purdah, she found that the shame was something that came naturally to her. She was embedded within a new fragment of cloth which covered her shame. Now, parda is a kind of safety. The body finds a place to hide. The cloth fans out against the skin. The real position or the skin hugging clothes, it is being kept away. Now, the parda is something that is very loose to the body, and it is always an instrument of safety for her. It is a kind of safety, and the body is finding a place to hide. The cloth fans out against the skin. The cloth is fanning out against the skin. It is moving loosely against the skin, much like the earth that falls on coffins after they put dead men in. So the metaphor here is just like it is not a peaceful effect that you have while you wear a parda, but when it is just like how the earth is falling on the coffins after they put the dead people within the coffins and they have put it in the soil or in the earth. The same effect is being given to the given by the parda. People she has known stand up, sit down as they have always done, but they make different angles in the light, their eyes aslant, a little sly. So she has known people who has worn parda for a long time, and she had always watched these people who were standing up, sitting down, moving there or moving down, anything. But these people, they often made different angles while they were doing that. They did not look at the face of a person straight. They were always looking at a person in a slant manner or in a very shy manner, or just keeping their eyes away from the direct view of a different person. She half remembers things from someone else's life, perhaps from yours or mine, carefully carrying what we do not know on between the thighs, a sense of sin. So here she tells she half remembers things. She is half remembering things from someone else's life. Now she is thinking about someone else's life or perhaps she is thinking about your life, or perhaps she is thinking about my life, or she is carefully carrying what we do not own. Now she is carrying a certain thing between the thighs of her skin, or between the thighs of her body, which made her wear this parda, which is vagina. She was deemed as a lady who had a vagina which had to be kept secure from the prying eyes and the prying men. And that is why this particular body part, the vagina, had to be kept intact, or it had to be kept covered. And that is why this parda is kept over the body. We sit still, letting the cloth grow a little closer to our skin. We are sitting still, we are sitting like this, and the cloth is growing, the parda is growing a little closer to our skin. It is growing closer to our skin, it is coming just like it is the skin itself. It is coming closely, just like the skin. A light filters inward. Now, the parda is bringing only filtered light inside. Through our body's walls, voices speak inside us, echoing in the places we have just left. Now the voices are speaking, or voices are echoing in, we are hearing the echoes of voices in places which we had been. Okay, we were in places with parda, and we imagine things, or we are hearing the echoes of people who are moving, or who are there around us, that the voices speak inside us, echoing in the places we have just left. Some voices are speaking inside us, making us, or asking us to come out this particular chaos, or coming out of this particular struggles. Okay, and we feel that we are always embedded within this body. Okay, she stands outside herself, sometimes in all four corners of a room. Wherever she goes, she is always inching past herself. She is standing outside herself. Okay, sometimes in all four corners of a room. She is standing, hiding in the four corners of a room. And wherever she goes, she is always inching past herself. She is always moving past herself. She doesn't seem that she is the real self. She finds that she herself has become a different stranger, as if she were a clod of earth and the roots as well. She was a massive clod, or a handful of earth and the roots as well. She is always asked to sit somewhere, or she is always asked to suppress her thoughts or her voices, and she is always been seen only as an inanimate object. Scratching for a hole between the first and the second rib. She is always scratching for the hole. It means she is always trying to find if there is life within her. Between the first and the second rib, you can find the heart, and she is trying to scratch herself open to find if she is dead or alive, because she feels that she is a person who is dead now, passing constantly out of her own hands into the corner of someone else's eyes, while the doors keeping opening inward and again inward. So she is passing constantly out of her own hands. She is moving out, or she cannot understand what she is now. Now she is moving out of her own world. Okay, she is passing constantly out of her own hands. She cannot control herself into the corner of someone else's eyes. She is cornered, or she is being kept to a corner by someone else. Okay, while the doors keep opening inward and again inward. The doors are kept opening inward and inward again, means people come and go again and again. But of course, she is always sitting in a corner, or she is being deemed as somebody who is inanimate. Okay, that is the point. Now you can see the Parda poems. Consequently, the Parda, which has often been used in Islamic societies as the ultimate symbol of paternalistic oppression of women, get a life of its own. Okay, it is a state of mind, but she feels it applies evenly to men and women. Its oppressiveness come out of the concept of the shame. The oppressive nature of the parda comes out of the concept of shame. If shame is not there, then parda is not needed. Okay. Now for Dharkar, Parda, in its wider sense, offers security, but she knows that the security is not always of the cocoon or the fetus, but also of the prison cell, or worse, a shroud. It may protect, but it also destroys. The parda is kept or made to be worn for a particular girl for safeguarding her privacy. But while the people try to safeguard the privacy of the girl, she is having a thought that her own individuality is being destroyed. She is not, she is just like a punchy. She's just like a bird which is caught in a cage. Okay, thank you.